Hey guys, Chris at The Rock. Welcome back to Rockford Ordnance and Coffees and Kalashnikovs. Smoke them if you got them. Drink what you brung, and let's have a good time tonight. We got a few things on tap for you, and we will be answering your questions and whatever comes up. We will touch on some upcoming videos. We're going to talk about a huge addition that's coming real quick here that I'm really excited about. And we're going to talk about a cool range trip we had this week and just all the usual stuff. So glad you all are here. Share, like, subscribe, send us a super chat down there where you comment, hit the money sign, and send a little dough to help us out. We appreciate it. Let's go. So what's going on this week? First and foremost, to all of you who had your AK pin holder deal hickeys coming to you, I got them out in the mail. They should be to you, what's today, Friday, Monday, Tuesday. So you will all be good. If you guys don't have them, let me know. I think I got everybody that emailed me. So you guys shall be good. Use them in good health. They're one of those little items that are cheap, inexpensive, but priceless when you need them, because those paper clips in the AKs that hold the pins in, at some point, they will let loose. You will have pins work their way out, usually at the most inopportune moment. You will cuss, swear, cut your hands trying to get them in, and that. So use them in good health. I found that they fit 8% of all the AK pattern rifles out there. There may be one that for some reason they don't fit, but they work real well. They're stainless steel. They're awesome. I just happened to get a big load of them sometime back, and might as well share the wealth, right? Let's see who's in here real quick, and then we'll take off and have a good time here. I saw Chase was in here first earlier, said, hey, Rock. So Chase has a range report back for all of us tonight. He's going to go over it. Matter of fact, why don't we do it now? Why don't you guys hold off on the comments a little bit? Let Chase type something in here. Tell us what he was shooting, how it went, how he enjoyed it. What he liked, what he didn't like. You can just keep commenting, Chase, and I'll talk about it as you type. You can throw one idea out there, post it, and keep typing. And these guys will take a little break from commenting while we go through everything and tell you about it. It's good to hear about other guys' stuff and what they've experienced. Helps us all, right? Helps make decisions as to what we want to maybe add to the collection, that type of thing. So go ahead, Chase. As you go, I'll kind of chime in here. While he's doing that, we'll jump back up top here for a second. Joe is here. Good to see you, Joe. Of course, Chase. Joe, great news on my upper cam today. 5.56 Bear Creek side charger. It's almost AK-like in controls, or like Galil kind of. Yeah, much more like a Galil, I would think. Very handy, right? It's if you had to change one thing about an AR, it might be go to the side charger, right? Be kind of cool. It's iconic where it's at, and there's some cool charging handles out there, but that left seems to be easy. I love it on the Galil. I love it on the Ruger PC Charger pistol. I moved it to the other side, switched the way my brace folds, and made the gun a lot better. We took that to the range and shot the crap out of it this week. We're going to talk to you about it. We're going to tell you who we went with. It was really a cool trip. I had a great time, and we're going to do it again. I got some video. I'm going to put something quick together about our range trip, because we jumped back into some old platforms and old pistols and rifles and shot them and had a blast. And I can report back on some good things and some pesky little menacing problems that are still affecting us on others. So we'll jump into that in a little bit. David Inglesby's here. Good to have you. And Tommy Guns is here. Hey, y'all, rock. No gun shaming, but I picked up an SLR 107 CR. Interesting. And got another SGL 21. I'm jealous of that. I need an SGL. Find me an SGL deal. That's next. I could have bought at least one with what we got this week. So I'll tell you, since I'm talking to Tommy, the MP5 is on its way, man. Matter of fact, I should have called the FFL today and got that handled. Oh, today's only Tuesday. That's good. I'll get it handled in the morning. But it is paid for and on its way. So no brace yet. Haven't I've started to do some research. There's a company called Safety Harbor. I like their brace setup for the Gearhead Works Mod 1. I love Gearhead Works Mod 1 braces. They're just killer. And they make a pretty nice brace for that. I like the PDWs, with the two rods down the side. I don't know which one to do there. Maybe somebody's got some advice. And everybody seems to be hot over these. They look too bracy to me. They're these skeletonized, weird looking stocks. Peter Petra, who makes the copy of a HK, it's their brace. Is it Peterbilt? I forget. But they make one, and it just looks kind of like a thin, skinny, foldable rifle stock. And everyone's like, "Wow, that's so hot!" And I'm like, "That's ugly as hell." I don't get it. Maybe I'm missing something. I don't know. But the PDW seems cool, even though it's the full size. The SB braces, SB either knocks it out of the park or they look too bracy. I don't know. But I really liked that Safety Harbor with the Yeti Works. Let me know what you think of that. They were out of HK mags, so I had to get some KCI mags. I broke a rule. Other than some KCI AK mags that somehow made it in, that after I found them, I've never used. I ordered one, so I'm sure we'll find some somewhere else. But that was a chunk of change, this whole deal. So this boy is laying low. So my better half doesn't just literally grab me and beat me to death. That was a big step. And, I've done it. Obviously, you guys see what we've reviewed. You know what things cost. I've done stuff in the past, but we're on a, how do you put it? We are being very honest these days as far as monetary investments. Let's just say that. So where before I might not think twice. Yeah, it's a chunk of change. It really is. But it's one of those iconic pieces. I'm so glad it's coming. It's going to be cool. And what was it? I figured out the name of the grip I like, the foregrip on them. It's the one the Century comes with and all. They're unavailable everywhere. I guess they're early, and I think they're made out of rubber maybe, but they look like they got little dimples all over. I just had the name of it, and I can't think of it. What are they called? Maybe it is the thin grip. I don't know, but anywhere. They're original. You can find used ones, stuff like that. Tell me if you know what I'm talking about. Comment, and if you know where I can get one, even all the better. I think they look so cool. I like them. Anyways, I'm excited. It's all German, made in Germany, imported over here. Doesn't have all the U.S. garbage on the side of the receiver. Just the pictograms for the fire position and all. And that makes it cool in itself. Comes with no warranty because of that, because it's not HK USA. But this is as German as they come. So it doesn't have any papers, but we don't need no stinking papers because it just runs. So I can't wait to get it. So that's going to be really cool. Yeah. So how about that HHK? Yes. Well, there you go. There's the news. It's on its way to my hot, grimy little hands. And as soon as I have it, I got 1,000-round case of steel case ready to roll. Actually, maybe it's brass. I can look. But we're going to break that bad boy open. We went through on our range trip Sunday. Let's hold on. Let's check in on Chase here, see if he commented about his range trip. Here it is. Here it is. So he got his ZPAP, and he says it was fabulous first time out, over 200 rounds and 0 issues. Chase, I'm telling you, that's just how these Yugo-Serbian guns just run. As I've told others, and some people just still don't believe me, but the ZPAP is an OPAP with a chrome line barrel. They've been building that rifle forever. It's just what has been coming into the States at different times. And now that there's a Stava USA, PAPs are coming in like crazy. They just happen to call them Zs. That's all. And they have some prettier wood and stuff like that on them. But they're here and they're awesome. And they just run and run and run and run and never jam. I mean, I can't tell you, maybe never. I'm not kidding. It's that rare. I don't ever remember any of my M70s, my NPAPs, my ZPAPs, my OPAPs. I never, ever remember having to clear a rifle or something not go off or a stovepipe. I don't remember any of them. They just run. And it's frankly, they're boring in that respect. He says the Bellum brass cased ammo was also great, ran flawless, very clean. I noticed after the trip, and I would recommend based on that experience so far. Be cool to know how many feet per second that stuff's running at. I think I told you guys last week, but I never find 7.62x39 brass at the range. See some steel case, but tells me there's not a lot of AK shooters where I go. And last week I just found a boatload of Bellum and Winchester brass. I think it was Winchester, laying all over the ground. So I grabbed it up. It's sized and deprimed real nice, cleaned up gorgeous, and we'll be loading it up. So it was a freebie. I figured I got about 300 rounds. That's about 25, 50, about $150 in free brass once fired. How do you beat that for a range trip? You can't. That always helps. Let's see what else he said. So he'd recommend that. And he said the rifle 0 went great. I think I had watched Rob's video for 25 yard 0 and all zeroing steps and followed them. My result was a little movement left for front post and a few turns up. So if you move the front post left, guys, when you're sighting, quick, easy thing here on the sight. And so good job, Chase, that you did the 25 yard 0. It's a great 0. You put it at 25 and everything else out to 300 is going to fall right into place with maybe a 6 or 7 inch variant up and down. But so from 0 to, with a 25 yard 0, from 0 to 300, you are good to go. You'll hit it. The Russians are actually trained that their point of aim on a target is the belt buckle. And with that, we're using the Battle 0, they'll plug them somewhere. They're all good to go. Keep that one in mind. So with the front sight, when you're adjusting for windage, let's say the gun's shooting left. When you're using the front sight adjustment, meaning you don't have an RPK style adjustable rear sight for windage, but you're adjusting all your windage out of the front, you just keep one thing in mind. You're chasing your point of impact. So let's say you take a shot and all your shots are hitting left. You chase those shots left with the front sight. So you would move that front sight to the left, and that moves it to the right. So whichever direction you're shooting, if you were shooting to the right, you'd move the sight to the right, and that would bring it further left. You follow me? So whichever way it shoots, move the front sight to that direction, and that'll bring it to where you want it more centered. Shooting left, push that front sight to the left. Shooting right, push the front sight to the right, and that'll bring you over. Okay, just a simple way to think of it. Don't screw it up when you're adjusting a rear sight. That's when your front sight is handling windage. Okay. And then, of course, he said he had to turn it up a little bit, I believe, a few turns. So that's an easy job. When you're adjusting your front sights on an AK, if that barrel, meaning the barrel that your pin is in, I call it a little barrel, the front sight barrel that you're pushing in the sight block, if that thing moves too easy, guys, it's going to lose its zero. It rarely happens, but I have had it happen on one Wasser. I have a video on it, not on that rifle, but not on what I did to repair it. So a couple things you can do. You can find yourself another front sight barrel to put your front sight post in and see if it's a little different spec. Can also knock it out and then knurl it. Knurling is simply cutting into the metal or pushing a groove into the metal, which when the metal it displaces from pushing a groove in, it pushes up. And just that couple thousandths of metal that's been displaced tightens it up. Knurling pistons was a way to take up tolerance when rebuilding an engine. If your pistons had a little too much room in the cylinder, maybe it was the bore was a tiny bit too large by a very small amount, they would knurl the pistons, and just that little bit of displaced metal would take up that space in there. You do the same thing. You knurl, and there's tools for it. You knurl that drum and push it back in, and it tightens it up to do it. It's an easy way to do it too. Easy to push, or God forbid loose, it's going to move on you guys. So figure it out, get it done. If it's super tight and you're trying to move that sight and you're putting pressure, and all of a sudden that thing just jumps, it goes too far, no problem, work it back the other way. As you work it back and forth, you'll get lucky somewhere in there. It'll fall in where it is. But they can jump. Sometimes just a drop of oil may smooth that out just enough to where it doesn't jump when you're trying to adjust it. And I'm talking when you're trying to make fine adjustments. Usually it can be tough sometimes if that thing, you got to go just a little bit left and the thing goes, all of a sudden the sight adjusting tool goes, and the whole thing jumps. And you're like, damn, now I'm too far left. Go back the other way, keep going. So it can be a pain. But it's just part of the AK game. Things aren't as refined as some other platforms, but that's what we love about them, right? So good job on the zeroing. Sounds like everything went great there. And let's see. Final was about 2-inch groups at 200 yards as far as I could test. So that's it. I'm extremely pleased. Do you, Rock, or anyone think that sounds acceptable for your first AK? Well, let's talk about that for a second. So he's shooting 200 yards with iron sights on a brand new rifle, not to mention his first AK. And they were 2-inch groups, which means it's MOA at 200 yards. Yeah, AKs are terribly inaccurate, aren't they, guys? Terribly inaccurate. Dude, he just pulled an AK out of the box, slapped it down on the range with some factory ammo, and plopped in an MOA. That's effectively a 1-inch group at 100, right? You shot 2 inches at 200. Gun shooting MOA. My God, you can't ask for better than that. I'd say ARs or AKs are usually good for, 2 MOA, is a good rifle. When you have an MOA rifle, you get yourself a nice primary arms 1x6 by 8 LPVO scope, and with an ACSS reticle and that RS Regulate mount. Oh man, you will be in heaven. A 1x8, holy cow, you'll be plunking 3-inch groups at 300 yards like nobody's business, and seeing it up close and personal. You'll have at 100, keep shooting at 2, keep shooting at 3. You'll go back to 100. You'll be able to, like, trick shooting over your shoulder with a mirror, this and that. 100 seems like nothing after you've been doing that. We had some excellent results a couple weeks ago. I've been shooting the AR-10 a lot. And once again, I proved Wolf ammo just to be awesome. The Wolf steel case out of that rifle, awesome. Our hand loads, awesome. That gun is just so magnificent. Just love it. I can't say enough about Aero Precision. Everything I touch of theirs, I can count on it always. You got to say the thing that makes it a lot of times too is the barrel, and the biggest upgrade you can make for shooting accurately is a trigger, of course. I love Faxon barrels. I love Ballistic Advantage too, but Faxon seems like everything I shoot that is really good has got a Faxon barrel on it. Even their inexpensive stuff, it's just really nice stuff. And we've been having a blast with it. So, hey, Chase, I am so happy for you that worked out, and you're liking it, but you will love it unless you want to keep it like it is. You're shooting iron sights, one them away at 200. At 200, my front sight post is just, it covers the full size IPSC torso target at 200. Okay, I'm covering it. It's going to hit there somewhere. I don't know where, because the post is as big as the target, at least how my eyes work. But even with iron sights, we were shooting some really good groups too. Things have come back, and we're having a lot of fun. But enjoy. I would throw a 1x8 on there for sure and have a ton of fun. Let's go back in the comments here real quick. So Joe's on. That's cool. We talked about Tommy. Dixie Living is here. He's happy for Joe and Tommy too. Yeah, it's a good week, man. They got some good stuff and they're having fun. Squeaky Cooler's here. Joe, thanks for the SGL-21 is getting real hard to find. It is. I guess if I was going to get 545, or I'm sorry, 545, I should really have an SGL-21 and 31. I need a couple. I want mint, nice, but I want to shoot them, and I need one. How do I not have one? I don't know. I had some. They came, they went, whatever. Joe, it's weird to me to go back and forth. I'm glad I got an A2 carbine first, but this deal between Anderson Lower and Bear Creek Upper was $395. Awesome. $400 ARs is where it's at now, guys. Let's face it. The AR is, priced where the AKs used to be. So, hey, why not enjoy them? Why not gather up everything you need while it's cheap? It ain't going to stay there. Nothing's staying there, guys. This stuff is out of control. And it's funny. Last week, if you remember, I had some comments about this whole war over there, and the whole thing with Russia, Ukraine just doesn't feel right to me, right? Tactics don't seem right. Don't seem like how it should or would go down. Equipment doesn't seem right. Some of the reporting, this and that. Well, guess what? I started hearing the same thing on other channels. And these were intelligence guys, ex-intelligence people. And they were saying the same thing, a few other people. And it's, I don't know what they're leaning toward, but went so far as to say, hey, this is just the cover up, the excuse for the big. And that's why none of it makes sense, that this Ukraine thing isn't it's cracked up to be out there. This other YouTube channel went so far as to say he's Ukrainian. He has relatives there. They are in the center of the country. So when he talks to them, he's like, hey, how's things going? Everything okay? You know, he sees the video here of everything all shot to hell and curfews and all this. His family's still going to work, driving to town to get things, this and that. He's like, oh, this is really kind of weird. Yes, it's not the eastern side where a lot of this is going on, but supplies of food and everything else are normal. He's just like, huh. And they're asking him like, why? What are you hearing over there? You know? And he said the same thing. It's just that he thinks it's a cover for all this inflation and everything else. It just, guys, there's things that don't click. They don't fit. Think about it. Russia, a superpower, firing all these antiquated stuff, lining everything up in a line where two planes, which they still have planes, could come down and with two planes, some missiles and guns, take out that entire line. Tactically, it makes no sense. None of it. And how many weeks now, how many days, all day have we heard they're on the outskirts of this city, on the outskirts of that city, every day, every night, same thing, but they haven't moved. They haven't moved. None of it makes sense. Oh, supply lines are breaking down. They can't keep up the supply lines. What supply lines? They're a mile long. They're their country, Russia, Ukraine. That's your supply line. 100 yards. Here, Joe, here's some fuel. I mean, you know, I'm exaggerating there, guys. Think, use your head. They're pushing it. COVID more out. What came? We need something to keep everybody's head busy while we do stuff in the background. It went from COVID to nothing. Didn't hear a word. They shut up. And it went right to this. You haven't heard anything but this since, other than now this Supreme Court questioning. Telling you guys, when it don't make sense, something's up. Something's up. This guy is, he's been doing YouTube 10 years, and he announced he's retiring the channel today. That he thinks it's getting too close to this. He's too busy either getting things ready, keeping up with it, worried about saying the wrong thing should things go sideways, that type of stuff. And he's like, call me what you want. Tell me I'm walking away when I should be toughening up or helping everybody and keeping the information flowing. Say what you will, but I got to go. I'm out. And that was it. 10 years of a very successful channel. Done. I can't say that I haven't felt the same way once in a while. And it crosses my mind time just to shut down, and take care of things I need to take care of and get ready. That's all. It worries me that the way things go, who are they going to come after first? People that are spreading the news, right? I guess whether I kept doing it or didn't keep doing it, they'd probably come and knock in one way or the other, right? But not that I do anything wrong. I just don't talk about what they like you to talk about, and sometimes you think, is it all worth it? Like he said, other than the group of 20 regulars, hardcore guys that show up here every week and watch my new videos every week, who do I really get through to? You guys, I'm preaching to the choir with you guys. So am I making any change? Am I making any headway? I don't know. This isn't a Second Amendment channel. It's not, a lot of people may be thinking, hey, Chris, you're taking this a little far. It's a little conspiracy theory kind of stuff. It's not. It's what I've been talking about for years has come. It's gotten here finally. Maybe not in the exact order or the time frame I said it would or thought it would. But I just see it changing fast. And am I one to tuck tail and run? No, absolutely not. Is that what I'd be doing if I quit updating the channel? No, no, it wouldn't. I didn't do that. I didn't do this. I never did this for me. I did it for fun because I enjoy it and I like to share it. And I like to share my thoughts. And I thought that the more I can get it out there to younger folks, and maybe I don't communicate well with them. Maybe they come, they click on my channel and they go, "Who's this old fart yapping?" And they'd rather go watch somebody blowing something up, or Brandon Herrera, doing something, whatever. But I always wanted to get through to the generations below me that have had this world, this government, their teachers, fill them with stuff that just isn't the truth. Teach them about the Constitution. Teach them about that guns, firearms, rifles are not evil, that they're not dangerous. The reason the Second Amendment is so important, and to expose those that didn't grow up with a dad like I had, or someone like you had that introduced you to firearms, and show them that it's not some taboo thing, and to talk about all those things and to spread the fun and all of that to these younger people so it keeps going. And I don't think I've managed to touch any of those people. I don't know everyone's age here, but I bet I'd be hard pressed to. I bet nobody in here is under 30 years old. I promise you that. I'm probably pretty close. Maybe nobody under 40. I don't know. It's just one of those things. So I don't know if I've succeeded. I know you guys look forward to everything and you enjoy the things we talk about and some of the gunsmithing stuff and reloading and the reviews. I know you guys like it, and I love doing it for you. It's changing so fast, and at some point, do you keep going? I don't know. I would love to say yes, but should things keep going, get really bad, would everything I've done be an absolute waste if it all went away, boom, immediately? Made no impact whatsoever down the line, helping people out. So I don't know. I'm not saying I'm doing that. It's just thoughts that cross my mind all the time. Um, so I don't know. I just thought I'd tell you guys what I'm thinking about. And I think the changes we're seeing in the economy, the world, the governments, everything. They keep saying 4 weeks ago, people in Ukraine were going about their daily business, going to school, going out for dinner on Saturday night, going to work, all this, and nothing seemed like it was a big deal. And a few days later, their world is turned upside down. That's how fast it comes, guys. When it's coming, you won't even know how. And I just feel it. And never in a million years would I think we'd have what's going in countries and all. I don't know. Never did I think I'd see that in my lifetime. And talks about nuclear stuff and all of that. Again, never did I think I'd see a presidency like this one either. And now they're moving forward. They told us we'd hear about braces and a certain type of, let's say, translucent firearms. Can't use the term or it'll slow down like it just did because of something I said. I'm sure they slowed it down. They're bringing that up. It's next month now, or the end of this month. Next month, I think. The ruling's coming out, and that's it. A non-elected agency is going to make a rule that has the effect of law. How is that possible in this country? And what are you going to do? People have to make choices at that point. And those are choices that could affect your life drastically. They could put you in prison for several decades, literally, fine you hundreds of thousands of dollars, or you make a decision that you're going to not comply with it. And what's your choices then when they come a knocking? Think about it, guys. It ain't fun and games. It ain't no light little decisions. These are life-changing decisions. Are you going to be the guy that complies and says, well, I got a wife and kids and a house and or are you going to be the other guy and says, you know what? It's principle. It's what this country's founded on. I live my life free, and that's how I want to remain. And I'm going to do something about it. What's that? I'm not telling you either way. I don't give legal advice. I don't give life advice. But that decision's a coming. Make one decision, and how are you going to, when other people before you have made tougher decisions in tougher positions to allow you to live the life you're living right now? You going to be the one that gives it up? I don't know. What do you think? Comment, guys. What do you do? And it's a lot to say. Throw it out there on the internet and say, never from my cold dead hands. Guys, think about it. What are you going to do? It's a big question. And be honest with yourself. You don't have to lay it out here. I don't expect you to lay it out here, right? I don't think anybody should lay it out here, because the powers that be are listening, right? I would bet, though, 80% of the people just go along with it. We'll be that Australia, we'll be Canada, we'll be whatever. They'll just lay them down, give them back, turn them in, grind them up, dump them in a lake, whatever. Others may do whatever, bury them, this, that. At that point, what good are they? They do you no good. You might as well have just turned them in, because not having them available instantaneously, using them in public for training and everything else, what good is it? You gave it all up. Well, I got it in case of what? It's over. So to me, that decision doesn't exist. I don't know. It's something you have to think about in your head. Make that decision. You don't have to proclaim it, but it's certainly time to think about it. It's always time to think about it, frankly. It gets back to that whole thing with the left praising, Ukraine giving weapons to its citizens. Oh, this is wonderful. They're going to fight. These people have more moxie and more grit. And look what they're doing. They're not going to put up with it. They're a free, liberty-loving people. This is awesome. Oh, by the way, yeah, you better, Mr. Senator, this money I give you every year, yeah, you better vote for that gun control. These people can't have that stuff. Why don't they want us to have it? It's real simple. Power, control, right? They're scared of you with it. They don't give two rats patoots about Joe and his little baby in a stroller getting taken out by a stray gangbanger bullet. They don't care. They'll put it on news. Thoughts and prayers. Lots of thoughts and prayers. Thoughts and prayers. Oh, school got all shot up. Thoughts and prayers. We need to crack down. Crack down on what? Going to crack down on assault weapons. We're going to crack down on it. Oh, you're going to crack down on that rifle that statistically, FBI statistics, takes out less than 0.00019 or whatever that tiny little number is. That's how many crimes it's used in. It's so small a statistic that they don't use a number. They don't use a number. They put an asterisk. That's what we need to go after. No, if that's what it was about, if it was about protecting people, protecting children, protecting businesses, they would go after handguns that are the culprit in 99.99951274 cases. handguns. If that's what they wanted to do, they know the statistics, guys. They can quote them. I'm making them up here. I'm close, but I'm making them up. They know them exact to the 7th decimal. They know them. So knowing that they know them, why aren't they going after the handguns? Why are they coming off these so-called bullshit assault rifles? Why? There's one reason. You can't have them, and they're going to do something to you that you won't like too much. Matter of fact, you won't like it enough that you'll want to take that rifle and use it against them. They're sure of that. That's why they want to take it away from you. There's no other reason. That ranty enough for you? Well, fired up tonight, huh? I don't know. Guys, that's what it's about. You need to make that decision. Don't bury it. If you're going to bury it, turn the damn thing in when they come for them. When they tell you can't build the ghost guns, whatever, turn them in. Turn them all in. Turn in your kits, the stuff you got laying around that you'll build later, when the time comes, turn them in. Give them away. Put them in that big pile that they'll show on the news as they're grinding them up and throwing them in the furnace. That's just a show, too. Those will be going out the back door to all the criminals. Yeah. Heard another YouTuber talking. Here's a good one. And he's right on the money. He's a Christian pastor. It's gun gods and something. I don't know. He does some work in New York, and he visits there a lot. He's from another state. He likes New York, but he was thinking to himself one day, traveling there, driving in a car, bus, whatever he was doing, that if he were to forget and have his concealed carry pistol on him and continued on in New York City, maybe, I don't know exactly, but New York City for sure, and got pulled over and searched, and they found his concealed carry pistol, he will go to jail for a felony. He will be charged and could serve 25, 35 years for that. However, if you commit an armed robbery, burglarize someone's house, shoot at someone, discharge a firearm, a criminal, you will be taken down. You'll be arrested. You'll be taken down, booked in, no bond. You'll sign your name, and you'll walk out the door with a promise to come back. That's what will happen to you on any of those gun crimes. However, you and me, Mr. and Mrs. Joe and Josephine taxpayer, who have never had so much as a parking ticket, maybe a speeding ticket, done nothing wrong, work our tails off every day, put our kids through school, show up at church on Sunday, do all the right stuff. Get caught with, hell, maybe even that gun just in the car. Maybe you left the clip in it, you forgot, in the trunk, locked up. 20 years, 30 years, they're going to put you away. They will. I promise you, that's how it's going. It's the equivalent of giving guns to the criminals. That's what it is. They'll have them because criminals are criminals. They commit crimes. That's why we call them criminals. They don't think twice about breaking another law, about buying a gun on the black market, stealing one from someone, and using it to commit a crime. It's just another tool to them. They're already committing the crime, so what's another one? They commit 1, 2, 5 felonies. What's another felony of having a firearm with you? They don't care. They'll have drugs in their pocket while they do it. They do it to go get the drugs and everything else. So what do they care? They don't. No law, no police department, no stop and search, no anything is going to prevent them from carrying that weapon. So we won't prosecute. We have prosecutors that are bought and paid for by George Soros and the World Economic Forum and all the people associated with all of that. They let them go. Me and you, we're the bad ones they want to get. We can't have them. So we're unarmed. They denut you. They put them in a jar and put them on the mantle, and we go along with it. can't have your bumps. So whatever happened to the guy, the Texas shooting with the bump stocks from the hotel, or Las Vegas, I'm sorry. Whatever happened, he killed himself, right? Or they found him dead in the room, right? Did they ever get down into it, who it was, why it happened, how he did it? It just all faded away, right? Right? It's amazing how that stuff just goes away, fades off into nowhere, and we never hear about it. You never think about it anymore. Who are these people? How did it go down? Just saying. I don't know. Anyhow, guys, big decisions, and you got to be ready for them. So you have to, if what I'm telling you to do is have that deep thought, maybe with you in your own head, maybe with your spouse, your significant other, parents, whoever most affects your daily life. What are you going to do? You got to talk it out, because something's going to happen, and you better know which way you want to go before it happens. So you can prepare for it either way, either prepare for what's coming and what you'll give up, and how you'll lead the rest of your life and keep your food on the table and everything else. Or if you're going to do something about it, what you're going to do. That's all. Have that conversation, because it's sooner than later, in my opinion. Just my opinion. And you might all think I'm nuts, but stuff I thought I'd never see, never hear, never experience, I'm experiencing every day. And it's just getting closer and closer and picking up speed. It's picking up a lot of speed. So wanted you to think about that a little. And, whatever. I don't know. Let's get back in here, guys, and see what you talk about. And then we'll talk about our little range trip today. Dixie living with the super chat for $9.99. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. It all goes back to the channel, and it does good things too. I'm going to tell you about a range trip. It did great things this week, and did great things for me too. Yes, it was fun. But I spread the news, spread the word a little bit. How's that sound? It's stupid. We have to spend our life savings to future-proof our guns and stuff like that in case they get. Yep, exactly. I talk about it all the time, why I ramped up the speed on everything, because I just felt I had to get what I had to get, not for me, but for my son, because once he was working in a field where he had enough expendable income to get the things he wanted, he wouldn't be able to get them. So I was doing it for him. It wasn't for me. I had everything I need and ever wanted and would be useful to me. I wanted it for him, for my son-in-laws, my daughters, my family. That's what I wanted it for. So I had to escalate things, and I look at it as an investment, but will it be? Will it bring money if it needs to later, or will you not be able to sell them? Who knows? I don't know, but for now, it is what it is. David Inglesby, love it. Preach on, man. I will. I tell you guys at the end of every video I started it about 3-4 months ago. I say, speak out, speak your mind, don't hold back. They don't. For years, what do we always say? Oh, no politics or religion at the table, right? Or at the holiday dinner or whatever. But yet, these bastards, they'll say anything they want to anyone they want, as loud as they want, and go right at you and make you look like an idiot or a dummy while doing it, not think twice about it. And what did we do? We took the high road. We'll take the high road. Yeah, we'll get them. We're going to vote these people out. We're going to this. Can you vote them out anymore, guys? Gals? I don't know. If you want my honest opinion, no, I don't think you can. I don't think you can. I'm not going to give my reasons why I think that. I don't think you can. There's way too many ways and things. God, Family, and Guns. Yes, that's the channel. Great channel. guys, watch it. I don't know him. He doesn't know me. I just enjoy his channel. And so if you like my channel, go to his channel because it's good stuff. And tell him you came there from here, that I talked about him and recommended him. He seems like a great guy. He visits a local gun shop, and there's this girl that works there or owns it. I don't know. And she's super nice, kind of nerdy, maybe a bit. Not, I won't say nerdy, but I don't know. She's just cool, everyday person. Check it out. It's a great channel. You'll love it. Anyways, what was I saying? I don't remember. I'll get back to it as we go through the comments here. Squeaky Cooler, 100% what you're saying, Rock Joe. At this point, criminals do more good than less bad than the government. Yep. Too much rant. Back in a few. My hat fell off. My hat fell off. Really, Tommy? You don't like the rant that much? I'm sorry. Hey, we got to think about it. If you love this stuff, guys, if you love it, you got to do something about it. Because at the end of the day, it's a hobby and it's fun and we love it. And we love the history, but we may be making history one day. That's all. So you got to think about it if you like it. Remember how suppressor is going to be legal? Then a Bernie bro with an SKS went to, yeah. Yep. Everybody's forgotten about the congressional softball game, right? That's amazing, isn't it? That we can forget about something like that. It's amazing. Mark is a good guy. I followed him for a while now. He's had some great insights into gun issues and also Christian concerns. Yeah. And he's very interesting when he talks about that and what the Bible says and all that good stuff. Very interesting. He doesn't get too deep. He doesn't preach. He informs. How's that sound? It's a cool place. Check it out. I'm subscribed to God, Family, and Guns, and yeah, Rock, another really good channel. It is. It's a great channel. You will enjoy it. Go over and check it out. All right. Who else? Somebody else I don't want to miss. Super chat. Alan Bishop, $5. You can buy 1 gallon of gas with this. Ha! Let's talk about that. And then I'll get to the range day, and then I'll talk about the MP5 that's coming and some more stuff. So you guys know I got rid of the Mercedes that I love so much and have driven one forever. And I got myself a Dodge Ram because I love those trucks too. And at one point between the kids and all, we had a bunch and they were great for the range and everything. Well, when you go to the range, it's always hard to load all your stuff, keep it safe, all of that. Well, I have a vault in my truck now. So if you guys are interested in a way to get all your equipment to the range, especially an outdoor range or maybe a 3-gun shoot or something, keep all your stuff safe, keep it organized. That's what we're working on. Because going to the range for me and filming videos is a pain. Let's say you bring, I don't know, 6 rifles, 3 handguns, this, that, ammo cases, targets, target systems, cameras, lighting, on and on, chronographs, rests and bags and all this stuff. Hammers to pound the targets in and staplers and ear protection and the tons of stuff. Well, in the sedan and the Benz, it had a big trunk. It was okay, but I have huge steel stands for the steel plates and everything. Where do you put all this stuff? And more than that, let's face it, we can all get it in. You can jam it in. It's a mess. You get there and just unloading and unloading the car for a range trip, all told, loading and unloading is probably an hour easily. But it's a mess. So, sometimes I worry about laws. Can I put it inside in the back? It's cased, it's unloaded and all that. Some states that may or may not be legal. And when to pick up, it's hard. But I was able to, with this Dodge now, first of all, I had a bed liner sprayed in. I usually do Line-X because it's so much better. It's got a great texture. Rhino lining and a couple of the others used to never dry, and it was like boogers running down the side of your bed walls, right? And it stayed kind of self-healing, they called it. That's just another word for being like snots. But I did a rhino liner because I deal with them in my business, and got a great deal on it. And they've changed it. The texture is almost exactly like um, Line-X. So I did that. And then I was debating between a topper or a tonneau cover. You need something safe, right? Well, I got one that is literally like a vault now. It's made by a company called Retrax, and it's all aluminum powder coated. It's slats about 2.5, 3 inches wide, held together with these metal brackets and everything. And there's a can mounted up in the front of the bed, and it retracts and rolls up into that can. You can lock it anywhere along whatever position it's in. So you could run a fifth wheel, trailer hitch in there, whatever. When you close it, it double locks. It's solid. It will hold a 500 pounds on top of it. I got up there and jumped on it as hard as I could. Sealed roller bearings, one finger, and that thing goes zoom. I mean, it's amazing, right? There's also a rack system. I got the better one where I can put like Yakima racks and stuff on there. They make a safari basket, so you can hold even more. You can put a tent up there, bikes, canoes, kayaks, whatever. But the cool thing is, with the locking tailgate and everything, it's literally a vault. They can't cut into it with a knife. They can't pop it off. They can't do any of that. Sure, could they get in with enough time? Anything they could get into, I guess. And then we're doing this drawer system inside of that. I haven't decided if I'm doing a ready-made drawer system or if I'm going to make one. But either way, even if I leave it just like it is, I put what's called a bed rug in there. It's indoor-outdoor, synthetic, and there's about an inch of padding underneath it. And that padding is custom molded to the grooves of your pickup bed for each pickup bed. So a Ford one won't fit a Dodge. But yet, when it lays in there, it's perfectly flat. You can sleep on it extremely comfortable. Stuff doesn't slide around on it like it does in the bed. This top is almost completely waterproof. It has drain hoses that go down, extra sealing stuff. It's dry as a bone. I drove home in a blinding rainstorm tonight, not one drop. Incredible. And then I've got these ammo can things coming that mount to the sides and swing out. It's going to be awesome. So you're going to see a lot of tips coming for stuff for your vehicle to make things more convenient, to haul back and forth and keep things safe. If you stop at a gas station and you got to run in for something, at least you know your stuff's safe as possible. And we've got lighting in there, and I may even hook up some type of, at least give a siren or something if it's messed with. So stay tuned for a lot of that. It's cool. But this Retrax tonneau cover is incredible. They make it in polycarbonate too. That's one piece that rolls up. It's really nice too. It'll hold a lot of weight, but this aluminum one for the little bit extra, and I got a great deal on it. Normally they run about 2,500 installed, and they run the aluminum with all the options runs close to $2,000. It's a lot of money, but I got it for $1,600, and I put it in about 45 minutes tonight, and it's incredible. I love it. So we're a lot safer. Our stuff's a lot safer. We're easy to load now, easy to unload, and yeah. So that's what we did tonight. So let's talk about this range day and what we brought and what we shot. I'm watching the people that are in the chat here go up and down. It was up at 30 something, and I started talking about the truck, and I went down to 15 now, all over the place. I wish we could grow this thing. God, it just seems to be the same every week. It never goes up. Never goes up. I just am not interesting, I guess. Anyhow, you guys, most of you, everyone in here probably knows my son passed away last July 2nd. And it's been very hard for me and my family and my wife and his sister. So when we had the celebration of life a couple of weeks after that, we had a huge party. We had fireworks you wouldn't believe, and famous for his bonfires in the backyard. And my son was huge into guns, just like me. And a lot of his friends were too. We live in the country, kids grow up that way. And the minute they're old enough, or even, well, before, but the minute they're old enough, they got their own AR and they're getting their Glocks, and they just, it's a rite of passage, but much younger, I feel, than urban kids. Maybe not. Maybe theirs just aren't legal, but um, anyhow, that party that night, fireworks, couple hundred people, his friends, ours, and his friends were our friends, meaning me and my wife as well. We were very involved with our kids. And if they were having fun with their friends, we would much rather have them have fun at our house where we could keep an eye on things, keep track of them, know what's going on. And our house was infamous in the neighborhood. It's not a neighborhood, it's country, but our house was infamous for these big bonfires, and it was typical country stuff. I'd be in watching TV, and all of a sudden I'd see lights out back. We have some acreage, and he had a huge fire pit, and you could tell the night before they'd collect pallets and firewood and take their parents' firewood or go grab a bunch of the neighbors, whatever. But when it was going to be a big one, you could tell a couple of days before they're stocking up on wood back there and everything. And some nights they were huge. Other nights they'd just feed it, start pulling in the second gate and going back there and surrounding the fire. And then you'd hear the noise, and then the music would start up, and kids and boys and girls, boyfriends, girlfriends on the tailgates, and music going and beer drinking and just having a good time. What kids do, right? How I grew up, how most of you grew up, not doing anything bad. They may be underage at one point, but later on, all through college, it wasn't. I didn't condone it. But it's going to happen somewhere. If you want, somebody told me to give parental advice, do a whole show on that. Maybe I will one day. But my thought was, it's going to happen. It's likely to happen. So if I can watch it, keep control of it, why not? And he had some really good friends, has really good friends. And, I always tried to be like maybe a dad to them, or a grandfather or an uncle or whatever, if they didn't have a dad or their dad wasn't around. And a lot of them refer to me. I've had them flat tell me that, Chris, you're more a dad to me than my dad is or was or whatever. And that's a big compliment for somebody to pay. And it's not something they said lightly, they meant a lot to my son, so they meant a lot to me. And they meant a lot to me in the fact that I could give them advice and influence them in the right, when so many were influencing them in the wrong ways. Anyhow, this big party, everybody shows up, and they're by your side, and you're having a good time remembering all those good times. And then the party's over the next morning, and things get cleaned up. And the next 6 months are very lonely, because our house, especially, I don't know how it would be in a regular house, but ours, because of our open door policy, there were kids coming and going constantly, sleepovers. Like I said, if they were by the fire, they had their pickup there. They walked up, if I was working in the garage, and tossed the keys on the workbench, and that's where they stayed till I gave them back to them the next day. Or a lot of the parents, I'd call them, say, don't worry, he's safe. He's over here. He'll be here, and that kind of thing. And never, ever, not once in all those years, high school, college, everything, till they were out working. Not once did I ever have a problem. Not one single problem. No police, no parental problems, no driving problems, no accidents, no nothing. You might say, hey, you're lucky. Maybe. But I prefer to think we just did the right thing, and these were good kids to begin with, and good parents raising them for the most part, and tight community, that kind of thing. And it worked. Anyhow, gets real lonely when all that shuts down and it's quiet, and your one daughter moves out and the other one's away at school, and you're staring at each other and going, This is it. It's me and you, and you got lots of time to think about what happened and all of that. And it's hard. It's very hard. And it's hard for me going to the range when he would go with me so often, and we'd share conversations about guns and shooting and on the channel and all that. He urged me to do this. He's why there is a channel. He was the one that pushed me to do it. He got me the camera. He did all this stuff. It wouldn't happen. I wasn't expecting a camera for Christmas, and when I opened it up, I was confused. I looked at this camera and all this stuff, and did I ask for a camera? Well, yeah, Dad, don't you remember we talked about that YouTube thing? Thinking that was like 2 years ago. What YouTube, really? Well, I did it, and here I am today, guys. And I did it, and I had so much fun doing it. It's because of him that I have this channel today. And to talk to you guys when it's this quiet and lonely is a good thing. Sometimes it's a hard thing to get myself going to do it, but I do it. Anyhow, that led to our range trip. So my son was due to go to boot camp a year or 2 years ago, whatever it was. And the night before, he was racing motocross, tore his knee to hell, and a long time thought he'd get back. By the time other doctors looked at it, it was so demolished, he got a medical discharge. Crushed by it that he couldn't serve his country. Till the day before he passed away, he was trying to get back into the military. Any branch, any job, anyhow, anything. It was the Navy that was going to take him last. And he thought he had a way to go the last I talked to him about it, day before. He just wanted to serve. So it crushed him. Well, his roommate, his friend in high school, who was his roommate in college, his good friend, they enlisted. He got who was in my son's unit. Got shipped to Afghanistan about, I don't know, a year and a half, 2 years ago. Well, Mikey just got back. I say just got back. Time flies. 6 months ago, whatever. We were so happy to see him back. He was there at Jono's ceremony and everything. And he was very tight. And he's one of the kids that said, Chris, you're more like, you're my dad. You know, you're more like my dad than my dad. And he called out of the blue the other day. That's the other thing. You think all these, as close as we are, we haven't heard from these kids. And I get it. They're maybe afraid to stop by. They feel weird. Are they going to cry? Should I bring it up? I get it. But some of them have stayed by, called continuously. How are you? They talk like we always talk. They were my friends. They called me too. And that's what kind of hurts sometimes. But I get it. They don't understand that, no, you're not going to upset us. It would make us very happy. They could stop in anytime they want, and it'd be fine. I wouldn't think twice about it. So anyways, he says he's back at school. Army's paying for school, all this. And he says, hey, I'm coming up. You want to go to range? Here's what he said. And I'm smiling because it makes me really happy. He got his first Glock. And he's just I want to show it to you. I want to shoot. I've been shooting it. That's how he got a hold of me. Hey, do you reload 9? He knows I do. I said, yeah. He's like, oh, I got my Glock and I'm saving the brass for you and this and that. I said, well, if you want to, come over and go to range tomorrow, we can. He says, oh, I'm down at school. I said, okay, no problem. Whenever you want, you call me. He says, well, I'm coming up tomorrow. Well, we had to make it real quick. We left at 7 in the morning. In 2 hours, we blew through 600 rounds of ammo. Less than 2 hours, hour and a half. He stayed the night. We watched some cool movies. We talked about China and all this stuff until 3 in the morning. Went to bed. He picked out, he wanted to shoot 2 Scorpions, his Glock, the Tavor X95, and the Spanish Set-Me, and the Ruger, the little PC carbine, the takedown one. He really wanted to shoot that. So, and he wanted me to train him on the pistol. I go, what do you mean train you on the Glock? It's a Glock, Mikey. He says, well, I've never shot a pistol. I go, wait a minute. You're in the Army. You went to boot camp. You deployed to Afghanistan in a combat zone, in a combat role. He wasn't a cook or anything. And you've never shot a pistol. Nope, never shot a pistol. They didn't train me how to shoot a pistol. He qualified for, and that was that. He was doing the drone thing. So he would watch drones all day and they'd watch the people. And the parties told me about, they would watch for a gait, the way a guy walked. They would watch all these little things and have to build this thing of evidence. And once they were sure it was who they thought it was, he'd, I don't think it was him, but someone would relate to him that it's okay. And then he would say, fire, and poof, obliterated, right? He was part of that whole drone thing. And so they were on a base there inside another base, or three sides of their base was the Afghan army base. The other side faced, I don't know, a village or something. I don't know what town, none of that. But anyhow, he had never shot a pistol. I was shocked. So I said, how you doing? He said, oh, better. It's hitting my point of impact is point of aim now, closer to the bullseye. I said, where were most of your shots hitting? He said, low left. I said, how did I know that? And so come on up and we'll do it. So I gave him a case of 9 and said, go at it, and he shot the Glock, the Scorpions. We ripped through more ammo. Let me tell you how I know this kid since he was little, right? And I assume the Army taught him to shoot well, or at least shoot the M4 well. But very little experience. He wasn't infantry out on patrol every day, that kind of thing. So not as much in experience as many, but the way he held this thing, the way his stance, everything, he looks so good, so natural. And I joked with him. I said, man, this generation, this Call of Duty has done wonders for you kids. And I was kidding, but I said, he says, well, you see some of this stuff in these video games. I guess they hire SF guys to tell them what looks real and what doesn't, and this and that. So they do get a lot of it from there, but his training too. He looks so good, and I'll put a video out. He was just pounding the steel like nothing, and the way he manipulated the weapons, everything was. I was really impressed, and he had a blast. You could see the smile on his face, and we just had fun. We shot and shot and shot. And then I had to run to a wedding food tasting thing with my daughter. So we had to fly back, and he headed back to school. And I cleaned his Glock real quick for him, showed him how to do it. And we're going to do it again. And it was a ton of fun. It was so cool to have him over. He slept like he would if my son was upstairs in his bedroom and he went down the guest room. And it was like everything was normal, just my son wasn't here. But it was so good to have that, like old times. And God, I wish the rest of them would come by. I think I'm going to start a fire out back and on a Saturday night, go sit out there by myself and see who shows up. Hopefully somebody does. But it was a blast. It was so good. And it's so good to have him back safe and everything. And we've got another one of his friends who enlisted the same day, signed up the same day he did. He's in the Marines. He does a radio man, and they're being deployed this week, I believe, maybe next week. And I'm worried for him. This kid is just what a good kid. Unbelievable, the quality and caliber of young men and ladies that this community put out over the years. It's not dead, guys. You just got to get in with them and do it. and do all, influence them. That's what you need to do. Do it. And then pray for them a lot because they need help. Things go wrong sometimes. Even good kids go wrong sometimes. It's hard. But anyways, that range trip was fun. We had a lot of problems with the Spanish set meat. I didn't have problems. Mine ran okay. He was running the same ammo and had a lot of stovepipes and stuff. They were reloads, and some may have been lighter, but a lot of stovepipe. But God, it shoots so soft, so accurate. I love shooting it. I think I'm going to run one Markelmar Spanish set meat. They are such a rifle, but it's something different in 5.56. Still takes AR mags. Man, what a fun, nice rifle. So well built. And we had a blast with that. The Tavor X95, nothing stops that thing. It just goes and goes. He really enjoyed it. We were shooting at 80 yards, iron sights just about on everything, and just pounding them in there. That was a blast. The Scorpions, God, I missed shooting those so much. I would shoot 4 and 5 round, not burst because it's not full automatic, but 5 rounds quick. And you shoot, boom, and you hear the steel ding, boom, ding. Well, when you're shooting fast, you don't hear the ding in between, but you know the gun stayed right on target because it's boom, 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 ping. All 5 hitting the steel. Those guns to put fire on target fast and lots of it. Just a stream of lead. If you want to do it, get yourself a Scorpion. Had 1 or 2 misfeeds on that. I had one with the 50 round drum, and he had one with a 30 rounder, but all in all ran pretty well. I'll tell you what ran great and had no stoppages was that Ruger, the PC, the pistol. That thing ran great and accurate. I mean, 80, 90, 100 yards with these pistol caliber little subs. And man, you can, if you're looking for something for younger people in your family, or maybe some of the girls or the ladies, and you want them to have a self-protection weapon for whatever, without shit hit the fan, whatever. Man, what a good way to put up fire all the way to 100 yards past that. Yeah, you probably want an AR, but so controllable for younger, smaller stature people. Great way to go. And they can be out there helping out too. You can lay down a lot of accurate suppressing fire. Just a great way to go. And they're solid. They just run and run and run. The Tavor, another one that's so overlooked, and it's so maneuverable for an urban setting. Man, what a rifle. Really, really enjoyed it. We put out probably 400 rounds of 9, maybe 500, and 200 or 300 rounds of 5.56 in about an hour and a half. Packed everything up, picked up all our brass, and we're down the road and on our way. And I'm going to do it again. So love to get a bunch of these other kids. The other one that went to the Marines influenced him too. He got into bolt action 223 to begin with the scope, and then he bought himself an AR, and now he's collecting Garands, and he's just loving it. You expose them to it, you show them the right way to do it, and you get them into it. And if you have to, you help them out. Mikey, I sent him off with 2 boxes of personal protection 9 and $20 to put in his gas tank because he's back to be. And he doesn't expect it. I just do. Take care of these kids. I say at the end of every one of these videos, speak your mind and speak out. You hear someone talking about the Second Amendment or talking against it, have the knowledge to speak about it. And don't be ashamed. Don't be afraid. Jump right in. They do, so you have to. Let's go back to the chat. who's retiring their channel. It's I don't even know the name of his channel. He talks about a lot of reloading. Old guy, sounds like he's from Chicago or New York, maybe. He's Croatian, or his wife is, because he's talking about that. I'll get the name of the channel. I can't remember, but he's retiring the channel. He's done. It just he thinks things are getting hot and heavy, and that's that. It might be Koba Guy. Yeah, Koba Guy. That's his name. I think he'll still do some videos, but he's not answering questions and other stuff. I don't know. Stuff like that. Pike possum, rock equals based. Is that a bad reference to cocaine? I don't know. Miguel Valenzuela's here. Good to have you, man. Haven't seen you in a while. Always a good time here. Good hangout and knowledge. Whole thing over there is being staged. Squeaky Cooler says, I agree. I'm not saying people ain't dying, but acceptable losses, right? Look at that. Stream slowed down. Start talking about that. Amazing how that happens. It's clear the whole time, other than one other time I said something, and I said that, and it popped up. Wiki, wiki, wiki. At least the part you're seeing on the BS media. Yes. Brian R's in here. Thanks for coming over. Dixie, I think put out your message. You do the work. God will get it in the ears that need to hear it. I hope so. I hope so. I really do. Sometimes you just don't feel that you're doing your part or doing enough, or that you're talking to a wall sometimes, you know. And guys, when I talk about that, I'm not talking about you guys, that core group. My dad is still out getting a pack of smokes, LOL. See, I got my smokes and I'm here. I'm sorry, guys. If my smoking offends you, I'm sorry. I can't go 2 hours and talking and about stuff I'm having fun with and not have a smoke. It's the only vice I have. I don't drink. I don't nothing. I smoke, and it's probably the worst for me. But I'm seriously going to try quitting here pretty soon. I've got a heart test coming up. Someone in the family had a heart test recently, and it came back with a lot of calcium plaque and stuff. Not good news. May have to do some stints or something, and it's really worrying me. It's not me, but I had some show up. They just weren't bad enough to do anything about. I'm getting older. A lot of my friends talk about Scrodlip. He had a valve replaced. He's 55. You're getting old, man. It's time to do something. So we're going to do something. It's hard, though. Squeaky Cooler's 53. See, you guys are all my age, probably. I said no one's probably under 30 here or under 40. Alan Bishop, his whole family hates guns. Turn them. You know, some you can't turn. You know what the lost causes are, but you can certainly, you know, I got a little nephew who the grandparents on the other side, he couldn't show himself with a BB gun he got for Christmas because they would yell and scream and raise such a fuss. I thought, are you kidding me? Who are you to, okay, you're the grandparent. You're going to try to influence him, I guess. I am. I'm his uncle. I'm going to do my part. And I told him, don't be afraid. If you like it, you like it. It's your life, man. He's 18 now. He likes them. And he'll be a shooter. That's what you got to do. Save the Bees must be in here somewhere. I didn't see him. I missed you. I'm sorry. So thanks for coming. Miguel Valenzuela, if you stream it, they will come. I keep streaming. I don't know if they come. Look, we got 16 in here. I don't know. I'm lost on it. I'm 38. Nobody in my family has guns or are into guns. Got into it being exposed from friends and coworkers. There you go. So expose someone else. Get someone else at work. Take someone else. Meet a girl. Take her. Talk about it. Spread it. Anything you can, invite people. Don't worry about the cost of ammo. One box of ammo may be the cheapest good thing you ever did. Who knows what that person might grow into and be able to help down the road at some point. Keeping things going, right? Right when he was on point. What happened? A lag, yeah. See, so Pike Possum saw the lag. That's not by accident, just so you know. Lagging. Let me adjust my tinfoil hat. Yeah, no, it is. They definitely do. You see it all the time. One way or the other, I will die a free man. Orion Fixer, good to have you. I know you will, buddy. We all will, hopefully. Other choices, you get a $200 tax stamp. I know. I don't want to do that. First of all, a tax on a right is illegal. Second of all, to me, it's a permission slip. You know, am I saying I'd break the law? No, I will not. This means way, way, way too much for me. I can disagree with it. I can protest it, but while it's there, I will not break it because it means that much to me. So no, never. But by the same token, I don't agree with tax stamps. I go between houses in different states, so I couldn't bring it over state lines. That's no fun. I do a lot of shooting in Wisconsin. I do some shooting in Illinois. I do shooting in Florida, Tennessee, you name it. I'm a traveling man. Whatever. Get your booster too. That's why I went carbine upper. I can't afford the tax. Yep. I like braces. I don't have a problem with braces. I think they're great. And I get it. It's skirting their bullshit NFA, but what are you going to do? Can't stamp my AR pistols. No NFA items allowed in Illinois. That's right. So it doesn't even matter. I couldn't bring it there. I could cross state lines. We never even thought about doing any of that stuff. So as far as pressure, but same thing. Can't cross state lines. And I shoot about the same amount in both states. Probably more in Wisconsin, but I don't know. It's all a pain. That's what the bottom line is. It's stupid that suppressors need a damn stamp. Yeah, it is. They see them as this clandestine weapon of murder or something. But the only people I think that probably use a suppressor for bad things like that is who? Our government, right? And these alphabet soup agencies and these black ops and all that stuff. They're the ones that are the ones using them. Your average everyday gangbanger criminal, they're not doing it. They don't care how loud it is. If they do, they put a pillow over it, right? Or you could be like the gun show I was at, and there's an ATF agent sitting at a desk, and it says ATF agent, whatever. I don't know why they're there, maybe to facilitate transfers or something, or just information. I kid you not. I kid you not. The table right next to him, they were actually chatting. Table next to him, the guy he's chatting with, the guy that's chatting with the ATF agent, is selling oil filter adapters. I looked at that. I walked in, I paid my money, they stamped my hand, I turn, I look, ATF, I look, oil filter, and they're talking, laughing, joking. I literally stood there like this for a minute, and I'm looking at the two of them and their signs, and I'm like, they looked at me, I just kind of shook my head and walked away. I think they laughed about it, like they got it, but so they're selling them. I guess it's legal. It's not illegal till you put it on, I guess, or something. I don't know. I don't even know if it works, but I just found the whole thing's hilarious. Just amazing. Let's see. What else do we got here? It's never about safety. It's always about control. Bingo. Comment of the day there, Ross. Way to go, buddy. You hit it on the head. Whenever they talk about safety, or it's better for the children, or protect the children, or protect the elderly, or this class or the other, whenever they talk about protection and safety, you can guarantee it's either going to take away one of your rights or cost you some money. One of the two. Because who's going to vote against that? Talk some more about the Ukraine war there. I don't understand it myself. Because of one dear homie. I can't get that last. I know it means something, and it's probably cool, but I don't want to figure it out right now. It just doesn't make sense that a superpower, whether they're the number one, two, three, four superpower in the world, whatever they are at this point, they have still kept up with weapons development and whatnot. Why would they be using these antiquated bombs, antiquated missile systems, guidance systems, antiquated troop carriers, tanks, on and on, antiquated tactics? Tanks have to be supported by infantry, right? And I saw one video of some Ukrainian guys with, I don't know a lot about this other stuff, but I think it was a Stinger. They're standing out in the open, literally smoking and joking, with one guy with a Stinger on his shoulder, out in the damn open. Tanks 100, 200 yards away, but and they took all the time in the world. All like a bunch of guys standing around a green on a golf course, right? Talking about the putt and which way it's going to break and all this stuff. And they launch and they take out this tank. You can't run a tank by itself without infantry support today with the battlefield weapons we have to take out tanks. Tanks are almost, in a lot of ways, very expensive to run, man, and use the right way. At least in closer quarters like that. And they're doing it. The Russians are doing it. Now, is that their set tactic? Is that how they've worked all along? They haven't caught up tactic wise? Or are they just out there because they don't care? And these troops obviously aren't their frontline guys, I don't think. Just lining up here, they're coming in on this road, and they've got a 33-mile long line of men, equipment, and supplies all lined up on this road for 33 miles, crossing the border into Ukraine, outside of the capital. Sitting ducks like a target. Now, the Ukraine still has some planes, or MiGs and whatnot, but they have some MiGs. They may not be the latest, the greatest, this and that, but they are certainly armed and capable. Two planes come in on that 33-mile long stretch of equipment, men, weapons, tanks, everything. Two planes come in and can take out probably at least a third of that line of stuff. What's it going to do? Take out the majority of it, block that highway so the rest ain't getting through, and it's over with. Why tactically would the Russians do that? Would our guys line up 33 miles on? What happened when the retreating Iraqis did it in Desert Storm? What happened? You know what happened? It was a shooting gallery. It was so bad that people were asking questions about whether we were ethical and all that stuff when it happened, because we just laid waste to everything. Like the hand of God, boom, gone. And that's what would happen to them here. Anybody else, that's what would happen. They talked about on the news, the Ukrainians are changing street signs to confuse them. This isn't World War II. They have GPS and Google Earth, Google Maps, anything they want, the military versions. What good is it? It just, none of it makes sense. They're so far off base, tactic wise, weapon wise, story wise. It just doesn't fit. They've been outside of Kiev, or however you say it. They've been outside of that city. They're right there. They're moving in today. They've been saying that for 2.5 weeks. Why are they sitting there? It just, none of it. They haven't. Russia can take that country, no problem. Could have been done in a day. And they're just not. It's to take time up on the news, to keep everybody trained on that while something else is going on. What's that something else? I don't know. But the blame started before it even started. Biden announced that the American people are just going to have to know that this is going to hit them in the pocketbook. And they're going to have to understand that just the excuse, the setup, the place to put blame on the evil bad guy from Moscow that's causing your gas prices to go up and your food prices to go up and everything around you go up 40% while your wages don't. That's what is there. And to me, that says one thing, the Great Reset, because the Great Reset is no longer a conspiracy theory, guys, just so you know. Those words have been used by our government, by the news agencies, both on the right and the left. It's happening. This is it. They were at 0%. 0% was the rate, right? Well, you can't do any more rate reductions to stop the bad things that are going to happen to the economy because of what they've done. All this quantitative easing, everything else. When you are at 0%, yeah, you can go negative, but they don't know what the consequences will be. It can't happen. How do you do negative interest, right? I'm not a mathematician, I'm not an economist, but the little bit I have heard about it is it doesn't, you're done. There's nowhere else to go. What did they do? Quantitative easing, printing all this money, all this money, all this money. All this stuff's happening. Stock markets take a dive, but all in all, they're not doing too bad. Then you have this huge run up during COVID when everything's taking a dive, right? Why? Why is it all going up? People are out spending money, all this stuff. And they're printing and printing and printing and printing while we had shut down, not for days, not for a week. I said this back then. I said, I'm not afraid of COVID. I'm afraid of the shutdown. We can't go a month. It'll never be the same. All they're doing is forestalling it. And they had to. And now what does inflation do? It brings interest rates back up, right? So now it gives them some room maybe to do something. But it's all about that. There has to be a reset. And when a reset happens, it happens in either really bad ways, like the Great Depression, right? They don't want that. They don't want the government, the stock market, the traders, the bankers to be the ones that take the blame. So they found someone to blame, and that's Putin. That's what it is. And it's happening. Your gas prices, your inflation, we've never seen it like that. Is it hyperinflation? No. Could it get there? Yeah, real quick. Could this get out of hand? As far as the war goes, could there be a false flag and it blows things up? Maybe there is. What's the best way to come out of economic problems? Anybody know? One word: war. War. That's what brought us out of the last depression. World War II. They're not afraid to fight it. They're not the ones on the battlefield. It's your kids, my kids, you, your sons, your daughters, your brothers, your uncles. They don't care. They don't care. But it allows that friggin', look, here we go, unstable again. I look at what you take home. Forget about your income tax, guys. Add in your real estate tax, your sales tax, your dog licenses, your tax stamps, your license fees, dog license fees, cat license fees, cigarette taxes, gambling taxes, on and on and on and on and on. You are lucky. We used to laugh. I don't want to be like Sweden. They give 75% income tax. Add it up. I'll bet you're paying more. Want to bet? Want to bet? I'll bet you're lucky to take home 30% of your gross pay at the end of the day when it's all said and done. State tax, all of that stuff. Think about it. Think about it. You ever going to see that Social Security? They've been saying that for years. I'll bet it goes away during all this. I'll bet it does. They somehow will rule it out. It's happening, guys. I'm fully sure of it. I'm positive it is. The Great Reset is upon us. And what will be the solution to it? I don't know, but somebody will come out riding on a big white horse in a shining suit of armor. And it probably ain't going to be the knight we want to see. And to be part of the solution, you're not going to like it. You're just not. It's crazy. It's just crazy. So that's what I'm talking about with Ukraine and things just not fitting. Watch it and know what you know. If you know a little bit about militaries, the way they work, uh, other things, this other guy he's got family there. He talks to them every day. They're not seeing what we're seeing. They just aren't. Granted, they're not in the East there, but they have friends all over the country. They're not seeing what we're seeing. We're seeing these staged things. Watch when they interview some of these people. Not all of them, but a lot of them. You will continually see that citizen that's talking. He keeps looking like this as he's talking. They're reading it, guys. I see it all the time. All the time. I watch for it. Just pay attention. Pay attention. I'm not saying it's fake. I realize people are getting hurt over there and everything and stuff's going on, but it's not what they're making it out to be. Why other than the reset? Could it be other things? Sure, maybe there's other things going on. I don't know. But I said something where I said, who has the biggest reason to avoid one world governments and currencies and the World Economic Forum? Who is most? Putin, right? Russia, communism. They want. Are you kidding? That would take the power away from them. Why then? What better way than him the bad guy, right? Make him the bad guy. Maybe, I said last week, maybe in all of this, he's the guy you want to be partnered up with, the bad guy. If you want to remain free and avoid all this stuff, maybe he's the ally you need. Hey, they were our ally once upon a time, right? Became the enemy afterwards, but they were a good ally to get the job done that we needed done at the time, right? Think about that one for a minute. Maybe he is the good guy after all. Maybe there's a reason he goes away. I don't know. It always seems like those closest to the answer or closest to the secret are the ones they want to get rid of, right? Everybody, remember Glenn Beck? Everybody, oh, he's crazy. He did this. He said that. He's too much religion. That's why he left Fox. Guys, Hannity, everyone is good friends with him. He's not crazy. He's not a nut. He's not a lunatic. He's not a conspiracy theorist. If you haven't listened to him lately, listen to him. He's spot on. Spot on, my man. And they pushed him out because he was the closest to pulling the curtain back on the Wizard of Oz. Think about it. Just think. Use your brain and think, what else could this story be telling, or what else could this story be pulling my attention away from to something else? They've always got the ball in the air over here while they're making you look over here, right? Just be smart. You're all smart. Let's see what else we got here, boys and girls. I heard a rumor to the effect that you have to do a background check to get a muffler for your car now. I don't know if you're serious or not. I just had an oil change in my truck today. I hope the AFT don't find out that I got a new oil filter today, right? They actually did raid a YouTuber. He did some videos, I guess, along that line or something. And his channel also covers diesel trucks. And he had a bunch of these diesel truck oil filters were huge. I mean, big. He must have been into these big diesel pickups, and he had a couple of them shipped to him from Amazon or something. The day they showed up at his door, the ATF showed up at his door and wanted to see him. There's a video on that out there. I don't know the channel. I ran into it accidentally. This is a year or two ago. You can buy those adapters in any store that has plumbing section. Yeah, I'm sure. You just got to probably know what the different thread measurements are or whatever. Let's just say I'm more than twice your age. Orion says to Joe. Yeah, probably. MZ, Chris seems like ever since you moved to a different room to do these live streams, your lag has gone up like crazy. Have you guys noticed that since I'm doing the streams in here? Has it been lagging more? Because it shows me here very rarely is it lagging. Everybody chime in and tell me if you're lagging or not. Here, just type it in. If I am, I'll go back to the other thing. I'm here thinking this is working great. So please tell me. I'll switch it up. No problem. We'll go out to the shop and do it. I'd like to do my streams out in the shop. I had an idea of doing the streams out in the shop and showing you guys, just kind of doing a tour of the shop, sort of showing you guys the supplies, the tools, the things I keep here to reload, to gunsmith, to do all the things we do. I thought maybe you guys would find that interesting. I don't know. But I don't think we lag bad there at all. This is my gun room, and it is set up like a vault. It's cement on 3 sides. It's got a very thick steel door, vault-like. It has keyed deadbolt locks as well as combination. There's 2 large safes that are not just bolted, but what do you call it? Rebar screws that were set in the concrete when we poured it. It'd take you some time to get in here and to get anything. If they do, God bless them. Some of the, I think about the router. Well, the cement on 3 sides definitely. That's why I have the door open right now, because I think that helps too. But yeah, it's all that signal's probably only got one way to get in. But if it's that bad, tell me, I will move. I just thought it was cool. That's all. Not a big deal, but I want to know. Lagging big time. I just have shitty service. I've been getting lag, but didn't know if it was my end or yours. It's not showing on my end. And I guess the truth be told is, if, these are available as video afterwards. So if you go back and watch them, if there's no lag, then maybe it's your end. Lagging behind must be getting old. Lags a good bit. I just log off and log back in. Seems I watch in general have been lagging as of late. Not just mine, you're saying, others as well? Well, I'll tell you what. Next week we'll switch it up just to see, and you guys will tell me, and then we'll make a decision. I don't know. It doesn't matter where I do it. I just thought it was better than just sitting on a plain old couch. Because here, red Kalashnikov couch. It is bright red leather. Another very expensive sofa. It was given to me. It was my mother-in-law. She had a designer actually put her house together, and you'd think, who in the hell has a bright red couch? It looked really good and classy how she had it done. But when she passed away, I said, I want that for the gun room. So I got it. And then we got a Kalashnikov poster up here. We've got red lights. We got red LEDs that shine up. I can actually change the colors on all those. There's end tables here with lamps and displays with guns and ammo crates custom made into lamps and stuff. I've got some of my favorite collectibles from my childhood, including G.I. Joes and stuff like that. We've got ammo storage, the safes, workbench, a big TV, some really cool pictures that I've collected over the year, frame that I love, family crest and tree. What else do we have? Archery equipment, not just compounds, but longbows and some actual Indian, Native American bows and arrow artifacts, along with tomahawks and peace pipes and breastplates, all kinds of real stuff, and it was expensive. My father-in-law collected it and gave it to me. So I've got that. I still have to figure out how I'm going to do. Blade of the day. Hold on, ladies and gents. First, we'll do product of the day. So speaking of my safes, they're both older, and it was before you saw them coming with lights and dehumidifiers and all that. And it was so dark in there. And I could go get strips and all that, I guess, and plug them in. And I have plugs. When I built the room, I had plugs put for dehumidifier rods and all that. But the one, I may even have to unbolt it and move it, which means lifting it, which now that it's set in and everything's in, I don't even know if I could get a pallet jack under it to lift it without. They're set on. They were. It's hard to describe, but we built in. We put the way they open is close to a wall, so they can't get in and pry them because the wall's there in the way. They can't pry them because there's a cement block wall there. Then the cement blocks are filled with pea gravel and sand, by the way. It was pretty extensive. It wasn't as much to do as it sounds or as expensive because I was able to do a lot of it myself while the house was being built. But yeah, you can't get there and pry. Anyways, to run more electric without it looking hokey would be hard. So I always was looking for lights in the safe, and I found them dirt cheap. So they're these little jobbers. They're called under cabinet lights, and you've seen them around. But these were at Harbor Freight and on sale for like $4. It's a tube of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 lights. You can mount them with screws, or they come with double stick tape. Since the sealing of the safes is that material, Velcro works well, so I just put that over it. There's also magnets on them, so I could stick them to the steel of the safe, and no matter how you mount it, this lights rotate, so you can aim them once it's mounted. So I can aim them right down at it. The one safe I have 2 in, and the other one I have 4 across it. And I started with the magnets, but sometimes I'd knock them and they'd fall. So this is working better. And they're not photosensitive. You have to turn them on. So there's a little button right here. And I'll go through them. There's 3 settings. There's low, high, and then for whatever dumb reason they'll flash. But there's low, there's high, and there's the flash. But and you can aim them like this by twisting the tube. Whoop. And you can get a pretty good, that's all the way up, that's right at you, that's down. So you can imagine in a dark safe how much light that puts off for $4, and they take AA batteries and last forever. Harbor Freight, check them out. Great for safes, great for displays. Where I'm going to do something with the knife. If you have a curio cabinet that the knives are going in over here. And I don't show you the whole room, guys, because I don't. It's just OPSEC, it's bad enough what I do that I don't want to show it all. So that's that. We may show you certain things, but I'm not going to show you a whole layout. That's for sure. Not that I don't trust some of you guys. It's just other stuff. So anyhow, I have, for blade of the day, I have 4 blades here. And I think one of them we've shown, but it's one of my favorites. And then I've got 3 that I love equally. Let's do it this way. I'm going to show you, this is my go-to knife, that if I had to take one knife that should always be there. It's what I'm going to take, and that's my full-size K-bar fighting knife. And it's not the leather stacked, although I love leather stacked. I love the way it smells, all of that. It's just they can get slippery. This is Kraton or whatever, and it's wonderful. And they're full tang all the way through. They're pinned, so they pin the end cap on. The Kraton handle, the guard is perfect. It fits my hand perfect. It's the perfect length in my book. I love the shape of the standard K-bar blade. I like having the serrations here, the blood groove, all of that. You can cut well. They come fairly sharp. It is in my opinion, the best do-it-all there is. They're not terribly expensive, classic, and wonderful. So I think I showed this to you before when I went through a ton of K-bars that I have, but this is the be-all, end-all that I would, if I got to have one and I want one on my carrier, whatever, this is it. This is, if someone said, I want one knife, what should I buy? Right there. This is it. This will do everything. You could upgrade the sheath a bit because the way the standard one comes is just the big belt loop and all. There's no way to molly it or anything like that, but they do make some other sheaths for it. So you might want to upgrade that. I have one here for it, but I think it's on a plate carrier somewhere. But this is the way to go. I love these knives. If you like the leather ones, fine. But I'll tell you this, when they get wet, when they get bloody, they slip. They slip a lot. These don't. I like it. So because I think I showed you that one, I'm going to show you one other one that the one's too similar to what I showed a week or two ago. So I think I'll show this one. This came to me from my father-in-law. He found it at a favorite knife shop of his, and I'm trying to see what the heck the brand is. I can't read it on the sheet, but here it is. Last week we talked about how Mountain Man days, camp knives, where a knife has to do a lot of things. It has to take care of butchering and skinning animals. It may have to take care of being your steak knife at dinner. It may have to do other utilitarian chores around camp or the home or the shop. And this knife can do it all. Really nice sheath, top leather, really thick, stitched well and riveted. Just an outstanding sheath. Also has the leg tie to tie it off. It also has a lanyard or a loop here that you can pull tight to hold it in the sheath. It has real antler handles that have brass bolsters, brass pins, big, heavy brass pins and bolsters in there. These scales are going nowhere. Full tang all the way through, real stag bone, a nice lower guard only. And the way it's curved, it really fits your finger well. You're not sliding off that thing. Plus, without having the top guard, there's a little bit of a nub here to catch it, enough to get your thumb in there. But I can work that knife really well with your thumb or an index finger down the spine like that and control it well. It's got a classic drop point. So a Bowie. They actually call it a Bowie, but it's a small Bowie, and it's small enough and without the serrations that I can use this for cutting steak in camp. I can use it to carve up some wood, cut rope, skin an animal, whatever I need to do. And it's not, when you say Bowie, it's not a massive fighting Bowie. Very thin, but not thin, narrow handle, but it's got some width to it here. So it's comfortable in your hand. The Stag gives you a ton of grip. It's just rough enough, but yet smooth enough in here like glass. I mean, polished up so nice. But here, tons of grip. Just works great. Super sharp from the factory, certainly usable. I could get it sharper. But it's made by a company called Puma, and they're out of Germany. It says Puma original Bowie, handmade Germany. I'm trying to see the type of steel. I can't see it right now. But Puma is a well-known brand. I mean, all the way around. It's not the prettiest, but it's not plain, and just really nice. So that's our blade of the week this week. These were available not all that long ago. I bet you could find them right now. So I thought you guys would like that. Really nice quality sheath. This leather is stiff. It's nice. Like I said, riveted and stitched. Also has the cross snap, and also has and listen to that snap. I mean, really something. And it also has the hold down and the leg tie. All in all, another great knife to carry. I mean, an all-around knife. If you can't tell, I don't like folders all that much. I like fixed blade. Just nice stuff. What the heck? We'll keep going. We'll keep going. Here's one made from Bear & Son. These used to be a smaller company, and then Cabela's got a hold of them. They commercialized a little bit. At first, I thought they were Pakistani-made knives. They just gave me that vibe, some of them a little bit. I have one that has more of a stag handle. This is a bone handle, smooth bone, brass pins, nice sheath, all brass hardware snaps and whatnot. Nice stitching. Fairly plain, but nice leather with an oiled finish. Here's the key to this one. Look at this. You know what that is? That's Damascus steel. See the patterns in it? Really, really nice. Super sharp, guys. Super sharp, big, heavy Bowie fighter. Look at that. This thing could do some carving up on you. Huh? Man. But beautiful Bowie. I should oil this thing up for you. But see the patterns in there? So for a lot of you, I'm sure you know, but how you make Damascus steel is you keep folding it and hammering it, and folding it and hammering it, and folding it and hammering it. You can do it from one piece or several pieces, and you're forge welding it by hammer welding it. Every time you fold it and hammer it, you're welding it to itself. There's a certain chemical powder they put to help it weld itself, like a flux. But it comes out, depending on how you fold it and different things you do, you can get different patterns, raindrop patterns, etc. It's a beautiful knife, and then they chemically treat it to bring out those patterns too, like an acid etch sort of. Not terribly expensive, made in the USA by Bear Manufacturing, Bear & Son. The handle is extremely smooth. It could get slippery, but big guard, huge drop, just and really curved, super sharp, fairly thick spine. Certainly just a lot of knife, and a lot of knife for the money. Damascus is time consuming to produce, and this thing is just gorgeous. This was actually my son's. My father-in-law gave it to him for a gift, and I have it now. I have one very similar to it, another Baron Son. We'll show you that next week. But I thought you might want to see that. And it's not just a knife of the week, it's knives. This is of the week. My wife bought me this. This, I had mentioned it somewhere we were. She remembered it, found it, went back and bought it. And I got it for Valentine's Day one year. She wrapped it up and gave it to me. I think my son had something to do with it. He remembered where it was, what it was. Very cool sheath, a Kydex sheath or polymer sheath. Both screwed together, holes for lashing everywhere, which are also rivets that hold it together. The back, it comes with some other attachments for speed strips for Molly. It also has a traditional belt loop or a hard clip down here that you can do different things with, and you can molly it or put it to your belt, molly it in any different million ways. And similar to a Kydex holster, it's a pressure fit. So look at, can't get it out, right? But there's a groove section right here for your thumb to push it out. So you just grab the knife and push, and it pops out. This is a K-bar, by the way, guys, K-bar. So here's the sheath, and you'll see how it pops back in. Listen to this. I mean, it's in there. It ain't going nowhere, but yet you can get it out. That knife is in there, baby. It's a great system. This is, you guys have heard of these. It's a Dozier design. If you've heard of Dozier, high-end knife maker, they did a project with K-bar, and here it is. A rubberized, there's like Kraton here, but a softer rubberized in the center grippy sections here. It's also notched through here and up here. You'd be hard pressed to find something to get a better grip on. And really comfy handle. Got the finger groove here. This holds your hand in. Guards, and no better place to put your thumb on than this thing. And a cool shaped barrel. Big fat belly on it. Really nice knife. Super thick spine. You could hammer with this thing pretty good. It's powder coated or Cerakoted, and a really nice blade. K-bar, like we said, right there. Dozier Designs, and that's a high-end K-bar. This would be a close second to my original K-bar. It's probably, it feels like it's a stronger knife than the original K-bar. It's got more weight. It'd be a better chopping knife and something you could hammer or break bone with or whatever here. Big and thick. Just, God, nice knife. Room for a lanyard here. And super good looking knife, don't you think? Look at that baby. I like it. Gotta get the light the right way so you can see the cuts in this blade, because the black doesn't show well in some lights. There you go, right there. How's that? You can see how everything is on this. What do you think of that? I really like that. This is fast. It doesn't feel, it's funny to watch me move this knife and how delayed it is on the screen, but how fast we're going here. Just cool. And this sheath can be mounted in so many ways. It's not even funny. And I don't have another knife I think that is held in as well as this is. The only drawback, little bit, and it's coming down here. So I could probably take care of that, but that bugs me a little bit. That noise could get you killed. But Super nice package. I remember looking at it in the store with her and thinking, man, I'll never get that knife. Got way too much money. And then she bought it for me. But very cool. Matter of fact, that's my sit in front of the TV and played tonight knife. So, yeah. Anyhow, guys, I told you about the range trip. Did the knife of the day. Did the knives of the day. We did the product of the week. I ranted and raved a bit. We got into the chat quite a bit. Let's check back in there, and then we'll say our goodbyes for the week. Now that's customer service. What's that? Yeah, I thought it was my computer, but I think YouTube is sucking lately. It might be, because it's not showing me lagging here. And usually it shows me immediately. I get a big warning up there. And other than a couple little times, is acting up quite a bit. Well, we'll try differently next week and we'll see. Tinfoil hat time. It is more apparent when topics YouTube does not want are going down. I do like the show coming from the gun room. Nice to have your things around you. It is. Hey, you want to hear something funny? So, the TV that's being, I mean, it's not completely finished yet still. I've got the TV here. I think it's, let's see when I got the other one. This one came down. This one's 55 inch or 65 inch. That's going right here. Above the workbench, but not quite as high as normal. So I can sit here and watch it. All the outlets are pre-done. They're ready to go. Just wait, need a mount. So that's on the floor there for now, and got everything around here. And sometimes when I've got stuff out, I was cleaning or I went to the range and I haven't put stuff back. I was going to do it after dinner or something like that. So there's be some rifles scattered around, and there's cases and ammo crates and all this stuff. I've got this really cool coffee table in here that's a giant brass trunk that's all hand nailed, all the little nails and everything. It's really cool, like a Mariner trunk, and it's got patina. Yeah, just cool. A lot of cool pieces I've collected over the years, from antiques to just stuff I like. This is everything in the world I like right here, except my wife and kids. But so I got back from the range. It was a Saturday, and a few things were laying out. And my son at the time was working at the U.S. Department of Agriculture. And I guess the election had happened, Trump had lost, and they were changing out the pictures of the president at the USDA, and they had just tossed them, frame and all, in the garbage. I don't know if they meant anything by it, or it was just like, we got to change it, so whatever here. So my son pulled it out of the garbage and brought it home and said, Dad, I thought you might like this. And they were signed by him too. And I said, where'd you get this? He told me the story. And I said, oh, that's awesome. I'm going to put it in the gun room. So the glass had cracked on the frame. I had taken it out and I just had the picture. And where the TV's going to go, there's the cable wire sticking out of the wall, and the faceplate's still loose on there because we're still going to mount everything. So there was a place to put the picture right behind the frame there, just to put it on the wall like. So that night, friends of my wife come over, and I don't know if they're gun people or not really, but she's giving them a tour of the house. They'd never been here. And they're walking around, and she says, show them your gun room. And I'm like, first of all, I don't want to show everybody my gun room. These are very close friends of hers. But she goes, oh, come on. She opens the door. The TV's there. The gun. I have rifles all over because I had come back from the range. A pile of mags, this, that, the other. And then this lonely, crooked Trump picture on the wall. And if you didn't know me or things, you would have swore, "Oh my God, what did I just walk into?" It's just had somebody raided my house that night, they would have been like, "Yeah, look at this guy with the Trump picture," and and it was just I looked in, she looked at me, they looked at them, they went, "Yeah, so that's husband's room." It was just like bigger a whack job than it was just funny. It looks so wrong hanging there. Not that he's wrong or anything. I just that you had to see it. I don't know. It was hilarious. I hope you guys find that as funny as I did because oh my God. It would have been one thing if it was in a frame and nice. Oh, look, he signed it and this and that. But no, it was just like some wacko had done it, you know? Like, yeah, we're going to get him for that. Anyways, Ross, you have that same K bar, the regular K bar or that Dozier design I just showed. That's a Puma, great knife. The German quality will pair well with the MP5. Yes, it will. Those Pumas, I think they're kind of like well known, maybe like Buck is here or something. But kind of a well known, just quality, not crazy expensive knife. And I like it. I like it because my father-in-law gave it to me too. Upsurge in Bad Streams has given me more time to read Yugo Serb history and literature prepping for my trip. God, I'd love to go. That would be so cool. You got to see if you can get in the factory and get a tour, man. Vittori, make sure you do. You got to report back to us. Puma's Hunter's Pal is a perfect hunting knife. Don't think they make them anymore. So they've been around for a while, huh, Dixie? I didn't know that. I think I had seen some Pumas before somewhere. So I like them. I have a Schrade Golden Spike gift from my stepdad. It's so beautiful. I know that's that way with a lot of stuff, isn't it? I would love to use every one of these. I pretty much do. I don't hold back, but I'm not going to go on, the regular one, first one you showed. Can't go wrong, man. Choice. Yeah, I like that Puma a lot. At first, it took a while to grow on me, that Puma. I was like, oh, see, okay, yeah, okay, cool. And that's where I got the thought with it's more like a dinner knife almost. It's very graceful, very elegant in its design, but as well in its simplicity in a way. And the stag is so nice, and the polished porcelains are done so well. It's grown on me. It's one of those knives that I wouldn't have went in and bought it for myself, but it grew on me and I like it a lot. It's cool. Still working on it. Cannot get any contacts back from Zastava. A few resources. A lot of times you can just show up, but I wouldn't do it like the last day of your trip. I'd do it early on. So if they say, hey, come back on Thursday or something. Have you tried calling um, Zastava USA? You might be able to get somewhere and I can ask. I'll find out for you and see. So, but that would be so cool for you to come back here and report or get some video. Send me the video. I'll put it up on here. We'll make something out of it. It'd be so cool to see that over there. Would love to. That's about it, guys. Nobody thought my story with the Trump picture was funny. Yeah, I guess one of the things you had to see. Everybody just kind of looked like, okay, got real quiet, I also like my SESA4. I'm gonna have to look up Puma now. I never really checked out their website or anything, but I'm gonna do it. Anyhow, so we had a great time with my son's friend, and he's my friend. I mean, I love all these kids. I respect them. They're doing so well, and they're going places in life, and it's nice to hear the updates on what they're doing, where they're working, and know that we had a part in it, and that we got them interested in shooting, and that they're carrying on with it. And they call me for advice and all of that. But it's never enough. You'd always want more. I wish they'd stop by anytime. Another one stopped by the other day in the driveway. I was out and they said something. We talked for a long time. That was nice to catch up. Um, it's cool. It's cool to see, and I'm glad I've made a difference in that way, and I'm going to keep on doing it. Um, if any of them watch, I know they do from time to time, but I think they watch more of the videos than the live streams. Certainly not 2 hours and 22 minutes in. But if they do, know that you're always welcome, guys. Anytime and anything I can do for you, I would do just like a son or a daughter. You guys know that. I've gotten them out of jams. I've done anything I can do to help them along, and that offer still stands. If it's 3 in the morning and I got to run down and bail them out, that doesn't happen yet, thank God. But whatever, I'm there for them. So you got to be. They're the future, right? And you try to teach them right and do the right things and instill that in them. And so far it has. A lot of them are getting married now. It's going to be fun to see some at my daughter's wedding that's coming up, and all of that good stuff. So I still said I got to build a AR for my son-in-law so they have something in the house to protect themselves. And that's going to be a fun project to bring you. Also, the kid that's in the video that's coming out, he's building an AR under my instruction, and saving him a bunch of money with some leftover parts we have. He's going to get the receivers, of course, and we're going to help him out with that. So that's going to be a fun project too. And another gentleman that I got way deep into it, he was in a little bit, but we gave him a shove, and now he's so far in as a family member. And he just informed me tonight that he finally got all the parts to put together a Thunder Ranch AR Arrow Precision Thunder Ranch. He loved mine so much that he got everything. So he's going to come over next Sunday and use just on the workbench. He's going to put it together while we shoot the bull, and then we'll go to the range. So that'll be fun to see. Maybe I can bring you guys a video on that. We'll see. So yeah, I guess in the grand scheme, when you think about it, you do affect a lot of people, and I hope in a good way. And I hope there's many, many more that I help or convince or do whatever that I make a difference. That's all. And I would urge you all to do the same. That's what it's about. I urge you all to do the same. Do something this week, whatever it is, to help the cause, right? Guys, gals, that's what it's all about. So again, thank you all very much. Remember what I told you to think about. Put some thought into that, guys. It's men with much more to lose made very important decisions so we can live free and live the lives we do. Are you like one of those men? That's what you need to answer yourself. Answer for yourself. Anyhow, it's been great. Me and my wife are adjusting pretty well. She's been doing a lot more cooking, which makes me happy. And she mentioned that she's taking care of me now how she took care of my son. Yeah, clothes, where you make sure your kids look good and all of that. She bought me a bunch of stuff, just little things that I appreciate tremendously. She's such a good woman and takes good care of me. So that's all I got for tonight. I'm sorry I'm boring you guys, but maybe it should be twice a week, half the length, right? But hey, once I get going, I'm like an old train. It takes me a while to get going. Once I get going, I keep going. Anyhow, thanks for everything. Like I said, this week, do something to promote the Second Amendment, to bring it to other people, to help convince. When they speak out yourself. Speak out louder, speak out longer, speak out stronger and smarter. We have to. It's all we got, guys. Look at the world around you and think. Think from a different angle. Think what they're telling you. Don't believe everything they tell you. Take it all with a grain of salt and be curious, be investigative. Don't let anybody tell you it's tinfoil hat stuff. It's not. There's always an agenda. Remember that. That's all. It's not about tinfoil hat. It's about seeing the agenda and the underlying truths. That's all it's about. Anyhow, guys, thanks again. Thanks as always. All of you, thank you so much for your super chats. Like I said, they go toward the channel. They helped give that young gentleman a couple boxes of ammo he took home with them, some personal protection rounds, and a little gas money to get him here. So he could enjoy the day and learn a little bit, and learn how to shoot his Glock. So thank you. Thank you very, very much. And as always, Rockford Ordnance out. Love all of you. Thanks. Have a great week, and we'll see you next Tuesday.